Hey guys, welcome back to day 11 of Vlogmas. Just got my advents ready, so let's have a little look. This one is the My Yarny Corner People's Advent. Let's see. Oh, look at those purples. Lovely like tonal one, which is quite nice. To have a few tonals to mix up the variegated ones. And then little stitch marker, which, let's face it, you can never have enough stitch markers because they're tiny and they always go walkies. Next is the Mousewitch Yarns one. Oh, don't think we've had a lot of grey in it. And some beige. A little bit of green there. The light's not doing it justice because I've got the lights going on overhead. Now, let's see where this is. So we're still in Northern Ireland. Number 10, the Mourne Mountains. Let's see the photo. Oh, that definitely fits that. Yeah, pop them in there. So we've had a bit of a busy day and last night's video was a bit shorter. So today, woke up this morning, my sister had to go to the doctors and had a few appointments. So we watched my nephew because my brother-in-law is working. So he was over for most of the day. I have, every time I've been watching him throughout December, I've had a different Christmas movie on so that I can immerse him in the full festive and Christmas experience. So today he watched Miracle on 34th Street and he will watch it. If you put, like, there's his little chair there, if you put him in that chair, he just wants to look towards the brightest light. And although there's a lot of lights on in here because we've got all the deckies up, the TV's the biggest one, so he's drawn to the TV. So yeah, he watched that, had a lovely bit of time with him. Yeah, and then I've wrapped up a few more presents. I am the designated wrapper. I absolutely love it. It sounds weird, but yeah, I really love wrapping up presents. So that's what I've spent an hour doing, listening to Christmas music. I'll turn the big light off, so I've just got the Christmas lights on, put some music on, and just, yeah, enjoy wrapping. I really get into it. Really makes me feel festive. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I wrap my dad's presents and then the presents that I've got for people. So yeah. And I'm a bit of a weird one in the case of, I like the unusual shaped ones because they're a challenge. And I've even got my own like little wrapping station where I've got this bag that has all the wrapping paper in there, has sellotape on one of those little roll things so you don't have to use scissors. It does have scissors in. It does have labels in, some of which I did design myself. So, you know, I said, go a bit too much into it. I'm a bit too excited by it. I'm just crocheting on one of the squares. These are actually the day 6 squares. This is the Mousewitch Yarns one. So, yeah. Just crocheting because I thought I'll explain what happened last night and give you all an update with the flare-ups, because I don't think, moving out of the way because I keep knocking the tree, I don't think I've really explained what my appointments near the end of the year have said. So I've had a couple more tests done. I've got to wait for the biopsy results from the camera. They took some biopsies while they were there, but for the most part it looked okay, so they're not really expecting any of the biopsies to come back with anything. Yeah, which is great that they've not found anything. But the thing is we don't know what it is. So I've moved under a different consultant now. And that's because this consultant works with difficult diagnoses. So for the past couple of years, I've had some gastroenterology issues, and they have become really debilitating, to the point where there are days I don't leave the house. It's really brought not only the physical symptoms, but it's brought my mental health down a lot. I'm on the waiting list to go for counselling to deal with, you know, coming to terms with this is probably going to be my life now. Yeah, and so what has happened is I had 2 appointments near the end of the year. One was the second opinion with a doctor outside of the trust, so they were in a different trust, NHS trust, so different area, and then I had the one with who's going to be my new consultant. So the one with my new consultant went really well. We've discussed that I'm not going to get a diagnosis name, and the idea is just going to be let's treat the symptoms, which I'm happy for. I don't care what the name is, but I just want to try and deal with the symptoms and get to somewhat of a normal life again. Because yeah, it ruins every aspect of my life. As I said, it's part of the reasons why I had to leave my work, was because we were trying to see if we can get the symptoms under control. Management's becoming quite stressful did quicken the process, but yeah, it was, you know, that's how much of an impact it's had on my life. So yeah, we discussed that. We're trying a new treatment. It's not working that great, but you know, just what we'll do is I'll go back to the consultant next year and we'll move on from there. But you know, he was really good, you know, in the fact that, you know, he's very open-minded. He's, you know, because I'm a difficult diagnosis case, they can try a lot of different things that, you know, are coming through on trials and stuff like that. Yeah, so that one was really productive. We've got a treatment to try. It's not a completely new treatment. It's a treatment we've tried before, but we are increasing the intensity by a lot. So fingers crossed with this doctor we will be able to find something. As I said, because it is a bit of a difficult case, they asked if I wanted a second opinion from someone outside the trust. And I said, you know, what harm could it do to have a second opinion? It was quite wrong because the appointment was quite stressful. So I went in to go and see this doctor, and they were asking, you know, what are your diagnoses? You know, what medical conditions do you have, to see if that can give an indication on what things they did. So I started listing out my diagnoses, so, you know, like autism, pernicious anemia, and things like that. I thought she'd pay attention to the fact that I've got pernicious anemia, because that can be a sign that something's going wrong in the gut. And that, but no, she wasn't fazed by that. But once I mentioned the recurrent depressive disorder, the anxiety, the PTSD, immediately focused in on then, and the appointment just went downhill from there. She was convinced it was IBS caused by bad mental health. Now, the doctors have ruled out IBS. We do think that my mental health can have an impact on my symptoms. When I am stressed, I'm more likely to get a flare-up. When I am anxious, I'm more likely to get a flare-up. But then again, I can get, most of my flare-ups are not related to any changes in my mood, whether it's good or bad, or, you know, any mental health issues, like anxiety episodes or stressful situations. Most of my flare-ups are not attributed to anything like that. You don't know what's causing a lot of them. So that's one reason why they don't think it's to do with my mental health. They've ruled out IBS because they've tried every treatment. Every single treatment is not even keeping it at is not even maintaining the symptoms. Symptoms are getting worse while I'm trying all these treatments and things like that. And also, another condition I've got called hyperhidrosis. The medication that I'm on for that, it can't be prescribed if you've got IBS, because the medication that I'm prescribed for with that, it can cause very severe complications for people with IBS. There's a very high likelihood of it. It does alter your gastro. It does have an effect on gastro. And then with people with IBS, it's a severe reaction. And I've not had that. The doctor who was treating me for hyperhidrosis was in constant contact with my gastro consultant at the time to make sure that I wasn't getting diagnosed with IBS, see if I was getting diagnosed with IBS, because they would immediately have to stop that medication because of the danger and the symptoms it would cause. So there was a number of reasons why they ruled out IBS, and I was trying to explain it to this consultant that was seeing it, but no, completely focused on the mental health. And I remember her asking me, like, with the dates when everything started. So I gave the dates of, when the symptoms started. And I gave the date, when she was asking, when did you get diagnosed with this? And most of my mental health diagnoses were before the symptoms started. But there was one that I got diagnosed with while, and they were like, when the symptoms were starting to get bad. And she was like, right, that's it. It's because you got diagnosed with PTSD. That's it. And I was like, but the thing is, and I tried to explain to her, I got PTSD from being in an abusive relationship. But when I left that relationship, I left it in the May, and there was a police investigation, so I couldn't, because I'd reported to the police. Because of the investigation, I couldn't divulge too much information to my mental health professionals, so I had limited contact with them up until the point when the investigation closed. So it wasn't until the following year that I was diagnosed with the PTSD, which was around the times when these symptoms were occurring. But I'd had it for months previous. It's just, yeah. So anyway, it was a big mess. But yeah, just it's the way it is. Thankfully, she agreed, because the thing is I just, I was so stressed out in that appointment, because I was like, please do not say on paper that it is IBS, because the minute she wrote that it'd be on paper, I'd have to stop the medication for my hyperhidrosis, and that's working really well for me. So I was like, can you please just put down that you think it could be potential, and things like that, because with the way things are run here in the UK, they have guidelines. There's nice guidelines in the BNF and things like that, and there's rules that they have to go by. So, for example, when I went to the doctors, when I had laryngitis for 3 weeks at that point, I went to the doctors, and she wanted to give me a spray, a numbing spray, but she couldn't give me the one she wanted because I was on a medication that couldn't be, the pair of them couldn't be used at the same time. So yeah, there's a lot of rules that they've got to play by. So if she'd have put down that I did have IBS, then I'd have had to start that medication, and I knew that just plummeted my mental health worse, because this is a treatment that's worked. My hyperhidrosis is under control. So yeah, it's just, yeah, it's been a bit of a whirlwind. But the good news is, right, this is what I say to everyone, is like, they've not found anything wrong, which, so they've not found anything seriously wrong. Obviously there's something going on, but they've not found anything that's going to kill me, for example. Plus, I've been going on with these symptoms for years, so if there would be anything that was going to be sort of fatal, then I wouldn't be here still. So, you know, silver linings and all that. Have to try and look on the bright side, and when I am puking my guts up, that is sort of one of the only bright sides. Focus on the good. So yeah, I'm gonna finish working on this square, gonna try and get another square finished, catch up on some YouTube videos. I am loving watching all the Vlogmases at the moment. I absolutely love it. I'm not watching normal TV. I've just watched Alex in my Yarny corner, and she was talking about how the only live TV they've watched has been I'm a Celebrity, and that's the same with me. That's only because it come up on social media, the results of the very top and things, and sports. They're the only things that I've watched other than Vlogmases and Christmas movies, because I've just loved the Vlogmases. They've all been amazing. But anyway, I've been talking here for nearly 16 minutes. So I'm going to go. See you all in a bit. Bye.